What's up guys, and welcome to my tiny fish room. Today we're gonna go try and find Leroy a different type of food source. We've given him ghost shrimp in the past, but supplies were very limited at the time when we went to the store. So let's go to the store, see if we can find some ghost shrimp available, and let's go feed Leroy something that he's actually gonna have to hunt down and eat. He loves his snails, so let's jump right into today's video. See you guys at the fish store. Bye-bye. All right, we came to Pet Supplies Plus. This place usually has a pretty decent supply of ghost shrimp. Let's go see what they got. All right, we're back in the fish room. We did score, oh, I'm gonna get all wet. Did score some shrimp, but looking at them right here, just letting them acclimate, get a little bit more warm. For some reason, the water they were in, I don't know if it actually was or was not, but it felt really cold. So, just want to get them up to temperature. Mostly going to be doing a little bit of maintenance in this video today, guys. We got to change out the 125. Want to try and feed him some shrimp, see if he'll hunt them down. I'm sure he will, but we just haven't had a chance to see it. If you look down in there right now, he's actually working on a couple cubes of bloodworms that are floating around. They're both back here at the moment. You'll see him, he smells them and he'll come attack one of them. And boom, there he goes. He loves him some brine shrimp and some bloodworms so far. He is growing really fast. He eats really healthy, so. And he's super playful too. As soon as you come up to the glass, he already knows everybody, likes to be social. It's very fun to watch. Oh, here's one of them cubes actually that's falling down. And that's just bloodworms and brine shrimp. Bloodworms are his absolute favorite, unless we put snails in there. He loves snails. But there's Leroy, getting him a snack. I want to give him a snack so that way hopefully the shrimp can get in there and hide. And then he'll have to hunt for them, which is the goal behind putting in some ghost shrimp. Naturally, I don't know the water that well at this particular place, so we'll be taking the shrimp out, putting them in a net, and then dropping them in that way. We don't want to mix our water with their water. All the shrimp look like they're moving around pretty good. Much better acclimated. Shrimp are very weird. Okay, so yeah, let's do that. Let me find a bucket. Ooh. Be right back, I need to grab a bucket. All right, so we got a net, we got a bucket. Let's get these shrimp out of this bag and into our puffer tank. So while I was out and about today, before I went to the fish store, I went to this place called the Coal Market. The Coal Market, it's a local place up north, Colorado Springs, family owned, and really awesome people, and some very unique flavored popcorn and trail mix, which was my favorite. We also had, I never tried a truffle before, and truffles are freaking amazing. If you've never had one, go try one, for real. Go check out the Coal, what was it called? The Coal Market. The Coal Market, try some of their truffles. I mean, try anything, it was amazing. Anything that they make was absolutely delicious. So shout out to you guys for being awesome. It was a lovely experience, had a great time at the shop, and it's just a really cool place. They also have a bunch of old school candies. So if you're like looking for candies that they don't necessarily sell at Loaf and Jug and stuff like that anymore, a lot of unique sodas, really cool. Yeah. There's our shrimp. We'll save the bag, double check, make sure we didn't miss any. But let's get these guys into the tank and see how that goes. Oh, he likes the shrimp. He's already destroying one. Look at him go. He is ruthless.
Oh. Okay.
Now clearly, some of the shrimp did not survive. I don't know that all those are dead right there, but it looks like a little bit of a graveyard. And he is actively hunting these things down. He's like, oh.
Okay.
Oh. He didn't seem to care too much that that one was already dead.
Oh. They're just like, oh, shoot.
Yeah.
The shrimp are just like
freaking out. I'm gonna go ahead and scoop in there and get those dead ones out. If you wanna hold that for me. Don't freak out, Bubba, but we're coming in. There you go. That's the majority of them. Just don't want him to eat anything that died for any weird reason. I don't think he can get sick from the shrimp. But just in case, better safe than sorry, you know? Oh, that trash can stinks. Need to take out the trash. Might be a little confused. Might be hunting too. I don't see any more shrimp really. I see another dead one right there. And there's a live one right next to it. Let's get that guy out of there. All right, so in a nutshell, Leroy likes shrimp. He pretty much likes anything he can get his hands on. He's a good fish. So, we'll let Leroy do his thing, hunt for some food. Let's hop over to the 125 gallon. Let's get that drained. So I'm gonna throw you guys on a time lapse of the tank draining real quick. We need to do a heavy water change. Let me show you guys. Just look how filthy and cloudy this tank is looking. And we're gonna break some rules today. We're gonna do a heavy water change, and we're also gonna clean the media inside the filter. I know that's highly unrecommended, but the tank has a lot of live bacteria growing everywhere inside of it. It's a very healthy tank, so it'll be fine, but we're gonna knock that out right now. Try and get us some fresh water for the fish, because obviously my babies need some clean water. So that's the next step. We'll time lapse that. We are gonna be probably getting into this tank and scrubbing it a little bit. We're starting to get some algae growth on the tank itself. This isn't a bad thing, just doesn't look that good. And a lot of these guys are still growing like crazy. I don't know what to do with them. They ultimately might end up food for Frank. So that's where we're at with that tank. We might shut this tank down completely when we're done with all these babies. But let's jump over to the 125. Let's get that going. And then before this video's over, I will have an update on the warehouse video, or the warehouse build. I'll take you guys out there. I'll show you guys exactly what went wrong and exactly what we're gonna have to do to get back to where we left off. It got cold. All right, time lapse. Bye-bye. All right guys, as you can see, we're gonna do about 60–70% water change on the tank. Gonna pull out our pump. Tank, whoo, man, English, not my strong suit. Tank is drained where we want it. But as I'm sitting here looking at it, I wanna make some changes. I wanna do something a little bit different, bringing back something that we started our whole entire channel with. To be honest, when we started this 125 gallon tank, our first decoration we felt like maybe was a little too big, so we took it out. And now I'm thinking, I missed that big old thing. So, next step, we gotta pull off this lid. Ugh. Set that down right there, which these are makeshift lids. I know it's plywood, I know it's OSB, I know it's gonna rot, I know it's gonna swell. So, we're doing it anyways. First things first though is I need to get a little bit taller so we can redecorate the inside of said tank. Da-da, da-da. My handy dandy ladder. Okay, I took off my watch. I got nothing on that's gonna get me in trouble later. But we're gonna take a lot of this foliage. We're actually gonna put it right at the front right here. This little guy we're taking out. Don't need that no more. Set that down. Over there is perfect. These are gonna go over by the heater. Oh, I forgot we have that wave maker right there, which probably is not gonna be cool with that. So we'll put this a little bit more forward. Now this guy, we're gonna keep, we gotta go way back there. Or should we put him more in the front? Maybe we put this in the front. This will help break up that wave a little bit. We're trying to give the fish a little bit more places to hide. I think we want to keep our driftwood cave because Paul absolutely loves that. We're going to reposition that a little bit. We have a moss ball up here that we made the other day. This helps keep the tank nice and filtered. Eats a lot of the fish poo for us. We're basically going to clean everything kind of away from the filtration. I want it to be really open at the pump. Okay. All right. So this is what I'm referring to by my old decoration. This is a giant pirate ship. Me and the kids have been watching Pirates of the Caribbean. So here we go, making another pirate tank. And like I said, you guys can switch up however many times you want. It's your tank. The fish will appreciate a change in scenery, and it's nice for you as well. It's like, hey, that's kind of cool. Don't have to look at the same thing every day. Gotta give our fish some time to get out the way. We can bring it down nice and slow. Okay, I think we successfully did not squish any fish. And this time I'm gonna put it a little bit more sideways. None of my giant fish are stuck in there, right? There's Earl, there's Shirley, there's all three of the Placos. Everybody else I think can fit in and out of it. But let's take just a quick gander at it. Everybody's freaked out in the corner right now. That's so funny. I kind of want to give this a little bit more separation. We'll go about right there, midway. And this plant, I think this plant needs to go somewhere like right here. What's up, Eris Bears? What are you doing? What are you doing, Eris Bears? Me and Eris went to the lake this morning to go fishing down at Pueblo Reservoir, and it was cold. Huh, big girl? Eris did get in the water a little bit, but only like up to her elbows, I guess, maybe her chest. She was like, nope, too cold. Okay, so we got the tank. At this point, all the fish are freaking out because they don't know what's what or where to go. I don't really like these two plants right here in the front. So I'm gonna add them to right here at the back of the ship. I don't know why, I just think it looks cool. Then this gives them more of a channel. They'll have to swim up and over, but there'll be a small cave back there and a small cave over there. So next thing I wanted to do, could you hand me that bucket, please? It's in the bathroom. So I want to pull out all the sponge media, clean it sort of. We're just going to sponge it out real good and then put it back. We're not going to use anything except tank water. So I'll show you guys what I do when I do the filter. We're literally just going to reach in here, get a bucket full of water. Bucket so full. Now, be mindful, I always use this middle piece right here in the center. I use that crossbar. I've used the bucket too heavy and I broke the crossbar. So if you're gonna use the bucket method, make sure you're right here on the glass, so that way the tank has some structure to hold your bucket, because that sucks. And now this stuff, I have a bunch of gunky, nasty sponges that we're just gonna take out. I do have a bunch of pieces of sponge in here, as well as a big old plate or sheet of sponge, which works pretty well, collects gunk really well, and it is super nasty in there right now. You guys will see exactly how nasty here in a sec. Look at all that. That is pure fish poo. Nasty. Pure nastiness. So, clean that stuff off the best we can. Scrubbing against another sponge, basically. And it is pure slime hell. Well, a lot of it too is from the cotton that we used to keep in there. So, that didn't help. I mean, it did help with filtering the tank, but it sticks a little bit to the sponge. You can see that there. That's just nasty. So this is the gross part of fish keeping, for sure, but absolutely necessary for your fish health. Especially, like, there's quite a few relatively large fish in this tank, so the ammonia is probably higher than it should be, for sure. And try and keep the ammonia down as best as possible. So what we're gonna do this time is we're gonna just throw that back in there. We're gonna try and clean out and scrub these sponges just against each other, these small pieces. And we got all that hairy stuff in there. Try and separate the nasty hairiness from my little sponges. We're just gonna squeeze those out. Oh, real good. And I like to put the little pieces of sponge right where the water intake, or I guess it's the water intake, is coming from. Just more oxygen for the tank. Okay, can you set that down for me? It's kind of heavy. All right, so we did lose a few sponges. It's gonna happen. They're not gonna be reusable forever, but they are reusable for quite a long time. So now that we got the tank sorted, let's get some prime loaded in there and let's get it filled back up. So we'll throw you back on the tripod. We'll time lapse filling up the tank, and then we'll discuss the warehouse. See you guys in just a few minutes. All right, there's our water. We're gonna make sure that our temperature is set just right at 78, 79 degrees. We're gonna fill this bad boy up. It's currently at 77, but my water doesn't react as soon as you hit the faucet, so let's just give it a minute and we'll check it again here in a second. All right guys, the tank is changed out. It's looking really nice. Let's go ahead and give our fish a little bit of food. So right here is what we give them. Earl and Shirley mostly eat this. Any of our non-predatory fish in there will eat this. And everybody also eats this. It's very healthy. We give them a little bit of everything almost every time we feed. So we're gonna start with these big giant pellets because these will bring the big guys to the top. And look at them, they know what that is. Earl and Shirley know what these are. Ooh. Okay. Just gonna drop those in right there, make them splash. The Texas likes them too. A few pellets here and there for the big guys. Also, my plecos love these because they float. The plecos will come up and eat these. So a few pellets there to float on the surface. And then we're gonna feed the bottom next with some pellets. And you can see these drop in there.
Oh yeah.
Everybody kind of go crazy for them. Pellets are very popular. But nothing's more popular, I don't think, than fish flake. My fish absolutely love flake, so everybody gets a little dose of flake as well. We'll drop that in there, just on the surface. And they're very good about coming and retrieving their food. You can see everybody going to the top and getting something to eat. Now, Leroy over here, I think he just ate too much. I don't want to turn on his light because I think he's digesting, but he was just laying down in the sand for the longest time. He's actually up over here swimming, you know what I mean? But I want to leave him in the dark, let him relax. Over here though, my puffers, my little baby puffers, they're not baby puffers, but my pea puffers. You can see them right there. Then we got Ninja right here, a samurai betta fish. And then we got our angel koi fish, the big yellow one. And then I'm not sure exactly what kind of angel fish the other two are. There's also a zebra, or no, a clown pleco in here, and a bristle nose albino pleco. And a handful of cory catfish that are always laying around looking like they're dead. And we have one last frog surviving in here. We actually did lose a frog the other day, RIP frog. One of our African dwarf frogs passed away. So that happens in the fish world. We did top off each and every tank. So you guys didn't see that on film, but after we were done with the 125, we filled up all these tanks with water. Next steps, I guess, really need to get some goldfish for Frank. But I think we'll save that for another video. Let's actually head outside. Let's go discuss what we're doing with the My Tiny Warehouse and where our 900-gallon tank is at. So I'll see you guys in the backyard. All right, so my tank completely froze. It had like maybe a good 3.5, 4 inches of solid ice in it, a full layer. And so yeah, thought the pump was really messed up and thought everything was, for the most part, SOL. But I think now that we got the water thawed out and everything, the pump seems to be working okay. Fire that up, make sure that's working the way it should be. Because last time I plugged in the pump, nothing happened. It just made no noise at all. So, pump is working, we're in good shape. The other thing that we noticed last time is the silicone along this bottom seam was squishy. So before we shut it down, we decided we're gonna rip out this lower seam and replace it with some of this clear caulking that we used for fixing the inside of the tank. So let's knock that out real quick and scrape out all the silicone that we can and get it replaced. So, can you hand me that gun? Give me the razor blades, please. That caulking gun. Pretty please. What up, bears? Imagine we're gonna need a couple of these, so I'm just gonna take out a few. It's gonna be a very manual process to get this silicone removed, and we have like the section in the middle that's really bad. All right, let me finish cutting that out and I'll get right back. All right, so this time we didn't just go smack it with a hammer. I shaped it properly so that way it's angled and it'll squeeze the excess out through the tip. Let's backfill that whole entire gap with our handy dandy caulking gun. So we'll just load this guy. Well, hold on, forgot. We gotta open this thing up. Let's give her a good couple. That's gonna be stuck later. All right, so that's good to go. But I want to make sure that it's nice and dry. I thought I had paper towels in here. All right, so I gotta get some paper towels real fast. I just want to make sure you guys hopefully can see that gap right here that I cleaned out. And we are gonna reseal all along the bottom here. A nice thick bead of clear silicone. I must have done something wrong. I probably got impatient. It didn't cure correctly, so here we are. But I'm super stoked that the pump is working again. We had a couple days in Colorado that got below negative. It was impossible to keep this room warm with what I have going. So I do have something that's right down there. I can't show you right now. Video coming out soon. Probably just make it short for that one, but we got something to help us with the tank. So keep an eye out for that. If you guys have watched this far in the video, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. We are almost monetized. We're almost at 3,000 watch hours. We hit our 500 subscriber goal. So please watch the whole video. It helps out a lot. And yeah, let's double check this seam, make sure that it's nice and dry, and then we'll get that silicone put in. All right, seam dry. So let's go ahead and get our silicone down. Woo! Getting down and up and down and up. I lost my breath or I got dizzy, whatever. All right, this time though, I think too, I want to make it a little bit more thicker. And I was hoping that I had a lollipop. No, but I need like a lollipop stick. You got any of those in the craft section? Popsicle stick? Okay. Well, we're gonna have to just do this by hand, I guess. Probably go make something. Hold on, let me be right back. Let me go see what I can come up with. All right, we found the letter J, one of my son's toys that my dog chewed up, so that'll work just fine. But we're gonna try and fill it in as much as we can. So we're probably gonna set this thing to really slow to try and really fill in that gap. I'm gonna lay a thick bead over the top here. Freaking game changer. Love this thing. All right. Now, shoot. Just getting caulking all over everything. Set this down right there. Now this guy, oddly enough, silicone hates water, right? So soak in a little bit of water. This will help it not stick. Create a nice perfect seam all the way down. Then we'll have to come back and clean up the rest. This big old glob here. Can I have some more paper towels, please? Sweet. All right. One more. It's pretty good. Let me wash up my hands real fast.
It smells like vinegar.
It does.
Like very vinegary.
My wife said it smells like vinegar. It does, 100%. I don't know why. But take a look. There's our seam redone.
I like that a lot better.
Filled in the void. So yeah, so right now it's warm enough for us to work on this room, but it certainly hasn't been the case. So we are going to get these new products that we got installed. Be looking out for that on the next video or the next short, I'm not sure. But like I said, guys, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. It helps us out so much. It doesn't cost a thing. Hit that button, please. All right, guys. YouTube thinks you're gonna like this one. And right here is all our warehouse shenanigans. Love you guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Peace out.